Hi, this is Emma the Misfit, and I'm coming to you with a new video. And this time I'm going to give you input on the little breakout star for Snow White, Rachel Zegler, which is, as everyone knows, the Snow White in the live action movie. Now, I want to make this very clear. I don't like any of the live actions. I didn't like Beauty and the Beast. I didn't like The Little Mermaid. I didn't like Aladdin. I didn't like The Lion King. So this is not something that I'm commenting just because of her or diversity or anything like that. It's simply, I honestly, these are stories that I loved growing up. When I'm actually having a really crappy day, I literally put The Little Mermaid on, the movie, because just singing and listening to it just makes me happy. And I kind of feel that when you destroy something like that, it really pisses me off, and it kind of just like really gets me angry. But anyway, I'm not going to go into that. I am going to go into the fact that this girl has a huge ego. And I'm going to say it, and it's probably going to trigger some people. So if you don't like what I'm about to say, it's not gonna stop me from not saying it. So, one, I just don't understand where these young, let me start this off with, by saying, when you're young, when you're in your teens, in your early 20s, you think you know everything. So it's so easy to say all these, ridiculous statements. As you get older, you start to realize, God, I really didn't know much. That was pretty dumb. You learn that as you get older. Now, I'm going to give her that. She's very, very young, so she probably doesn't know any better. But then again, the way young kids talk now, the way that they are taught in schools, I kind of like, this is coming from her, and it's probably her view, more than anything. It's kind of this generation that's growing up in this entitlement stage that think that they could just remake everything into their image, and some things are just not supposed to be remade. And they think that they're brave in what they say. You're not brave. I'm just saying, you're not. But you think you are, and you're allowed to think you are. That doesn't make you brave. All right, so I don't really want to talk smack about Gal Gadot, because I do love her as Wonder Woman, but I'm gonna say it. She doesn't get a pass for being one of these Hollywood elitists that kind of talk down to the normies, us normies. So in this clip, Gal Gadot and her Rachel Zegler are talking at the Variety interview or whatever, and they're talking about, the movie Snow White. So I'm gonna let you hear it.
You were bringing a modern edge to it on stage. What do you mean by that?
I just mean that it's no longer 1937, and we absolutely wrote a Snow White that is
not going to be saved by the prince.
She's not going to be saved by the prince, and she's not going to be dreaming about true love. She's dreaming about becoming the leader she knows she can be, and the leader that her late father told her that she could be if she was fearless, fair, brave, and true. And so it's just a really incredible story for, I think, young people everywhere to see themselves in.
Snow White is running for president.
I'm launching my campaign. I am.
Okay. There's so much to say. Okay, one. My biggest pet peeve of all these people is that why can't a girl just fall in love, have a prince? I mean, if you even see the movie, which is clearly she has never watched the movie. I mean, that's obvious by her stupid statements. Let's not kid ourselves. The dwarves, which you're not allowed to say because Peter Dinklage decided to like push up the ladder behind himself. Like the dwarves, the little dwarves are the ones that take her in. You know, they don't have to take her in, but they decide to take Snow White in. You know what I'm saying? So it kind of like really does anger me that, you know, this is like an actual stupid statement, you know. They take her in, this homeless girl that's like lost and, you know, sleeping in their house, and, you know, she starts, you know, she's living there, and they take her in, and the whole entire actual story is Snow White's stepmother, which is the evil witch, is jealous of Snow White and her beauty. Now, you know, that's why she goes, you know, mirror, mirror on the wall, who's the fairest of them all? And when the mirror says Snow White, she wants to get rid of Snow White. So she kills Snow White. Well, she poisons her. And it's the prince that actually saves her because, you know, she meets the prince beforehand. Now, what kind of like gets me mad about this whole entire situation is that Rachel Zegler actually makes it seem like being saved by the man is such a bad thing. God. I'm trying to hold my not yelling and cursing kind of like thing, but it's hard. It's hard for me. You don't have to love the story. You don't have to care about the story. Just do the story exactly how it is. It's perfect. It doesn't need to be modernized. This is the new word that they use, modernize, diversity. You know, all these things are stupid. And I'm going to say that as, and I'm about to trigger all of you people, but I'm going to say this as a pure Puerto Rican, pure Hispanic, pure, not half of anything, not half Caucasian, not half black, not half anything, 100% pure Puerto Rican. Because, and I'm going to say this, and it's probably going to offend some people, but I'm going to say it anyway. I am so sick and tired of all these, I was going to call them half-breeds, but I'm not going to, because it's really going to get pissed. People are going to get really pissed off. Like, honestly, like, you're half Spanish and half Polish. Like, you're a quarter of Hispanic. Like, my descendants are all from Spain. Like, all of them. Like, it kind of, like, really just angers me when you have these people that are, like, 1/3 or a quarter or 1/4 or whatever, you know, like, talking about and speaking about a whole entire, like, race of or nationality, whatever you want to call us. Because again, to me, we're all the same, but these are the people that want to push diversity. These are the people that want to make you feel that you have to check off all these categories. So I'm playing your game. I'm playing your game, which is the truth, which is I'm 100% Puerto Rican. My ancestry goes back to Spain. So before you go with your, I'm going to say it, half-bred self, don't come at me with your comments, because unless you're pure blood, get out of my face. Now, with that said, what kind of like gets me pissed off about this whole entire thing is Snow White. You know, like you have all these like this new thing of these kids coming out saying I feel so represented inside of these stories now that I could see myself. They're cartoons, majority of them. They come from stories, you know. Why can't you ever see yourself? I don't understand. When I read a book, I see myself all the time. I don't need to see myself on a screen in order to get validation. I find that it's 100% degrades and waters down who you are when you are looking for the approval of other people. I say this to all the young girls that are out there. You don't need to fit into a category. You don't need to be what other people tell you to be. Be yourself. Stop trying to follow the mob, because let me tell you something. In 10 years from now, the tides change. Everything changes. Time changes. You know, what was acceptable when I was growing up is not acceptable now. Like, all these things change. And in 10 years from now or 20 years from now, when you are looking back, you're going to be like, damn, that was stupid. Like, that's what you're going to say to yourself. Now, I'm not going to pretend like there aren't those girls out there that still think they're correct, because there are some that are in their 50s, 60s, 70s, 80s, and 90s that still walk around thinking that they're correct. Look at Nancy Pelosi. Now, she's corrupt as F, but, you know. So, just try to be yourself. Try to be as genuine as you possibly can. Stop trying to be somebody else. There's a whole bunch of people trying to be other people when you're so wonderfully and perfectly made. That's how God made you. Stop trying to be someone you're not. I don't understand this. It's not a hard concept. This is not physics. You know, this is not like something that's like, ooh, I need to solve the world's problems. It's learning to love yourself. It's learning to be comfortable in your own skin. It's learning to be yourself and love yourself as you are. You don't have to fit into any category. You don't have to be perfect. You don't have to be all of these things. My biggest problem, again, like I've said from the beginning, is always these individuals that are taught by these feminists. And I'm totally against feminism. And I really, it's one of those pet peeves that I find it's totally ruining our society. And it's going to continue to ruin our society until it's just completely squashed out of it. Just like this tolerance. At some point, the tolerance is going to stop, because you're making people just dislike everything that you say, everything that you do, simply because you're trying to virtue signal about how you feel. I'm just so over it. One of the dogs I'm taking care of is like whining in the back over in the, in the other room. But getting back to what I was saying, you know, just with this whole Rachel Zegler thing, and this isn't just about her, it's every movie that Disney's making, all the movies that are being made on Netflix, all, all the movies that are being made, like Barbie, you know, I love Barbie. I have a huge collection of Barbies, and Barbie isn't a feminist. Stop it. Like, why? Like, stop. You're totally ruining all of my childhood memories simply because you're trying to push some sort of message. And let's just be honest, the message is dumb. It's dumb. If you are a girl and you have to find yourself in a character or in a story on screen, then maybe you need to take a moment to like reflect on yourself and find what is missing in my life that leads me to think that I have to look at the TV, a celebrity, a YouTuber, a movie, a book, whatever it is, to find validation in my life. You don't need anyone's validation. You need your own validation. And you don't need people to help you get validated. You have to find that from yourself. So stop looking at the outside people and start looking internally. Those are my thoughts on the whole entire Snow White thing. Just, Disney, please just stop. At this point, I don't know how much more you have to lose, but God, I at this point, I really do hope you just burn to the ground. Like, I hope Hollywood burns to the ground, because at this point, it's just a matter of they need to burn down to ashes before they could rebuild, because at this point I just don't think there's a way to save any of it. And at this point, it shouldn't be saved. Hollywood shouldn't be saved. Disney shouldn't be saved. All of it shouldn't be saved, because at this point you have taken advantage of the fans. You've taken advantage of young kids that look up to you, and you've perverted everything. You've destroyed everything. So at this point, I really don't care if you survive. I really don't care if you burn into ashes. And I mean that figuratively, not like, you know, like really, like burn. But, you know, I don't care. At this point, I no longer care. And I'm kind of on the page where I think most Americans are, and most normal people are, where they just no longer care about Disney or any of these people, because the problem is you've destroyed everything that we like, and you've made it into a kind of like personal battle. So I wish you luck. I do wish you luck, but I doubt you will be able to recover from this. Make sure to hit like, subscribe on all my videos. Make sure you share. And I will be coming to you with another video, because I have more to speak about something else. So I'll see you then. Bye.